it's Samantha and welcome to my Vanilla Mom channel. Today we are talking budget. So I did a budget video for 2015 and this was pre-baby. A couple of things have changed for this year, so I want to go over that. We're still kind of in the same position we were last year where we don't have to be super duper strict about our budget. We live pretty comfortably, but we are not saving nearly as much since we had a baby. We did need to make a bit of a game plan to counterbalance the baby expenses, and we also bought a new car. We financed about half of that purchase, so we do have a car payment now. So you can go back and watch that video and you may hear some screaming. Olivia and her daddy are downstairs playing and she is just in a very screamy, squeaky stage right now. So you might hear a bunch of it. I can hear a bunch of it. I don't know how much the camera picks up on. So as far as our budget game plan, we are just trying to bump up our savings as much as possible and at the same time pay off as much as possible. So as far as debt, we only have the car payment and our mortgage. And so at first I thought we would pay off the car payment as soon as possible within a few months. And then I went to think about it and I looked at the payment. Our interest rate is so tiny that even if we go the full 5 years of the loan, we only end up paying like $750 extra for the financing part of it. So I'm like, you know, we're going to dump all this money into that, not build our savings at the same time to save $750. And I don't think it's worth it. When I went back and thought about it, our interest rate on our mortgage is a lot higher than our interest rate on the car loan. Plus it's compounded over many more years. So if we dump money into our mortgage, we're ending up saving way more than that $750. So that's our game plan. Is any extra money we were going to dump towards the car payment, we are going to dump it into the mortgage and try to just knock off some mortgage payments. And I was looking on, there's all sorts of calculators you can use online, bank rates, mortgage and loan calculators I really like. So I just went in there, typed in some numbers. Even if we only dump a couple of $100 into our mortgage extra each month, that ends up saving us like 10 years off of our mortgage. That's significant savings. That was like $100,000, you know, saved. She's screaming. So that's what we're going to do moving forward with any extra money. And in order to do this, I really have to tighten up the extra spending. So what we'll do is we'll just pay the minimum on the car payment, round it up to the nearest 50 or the nearest 100, just to round it up, make the check writing a lot easier. And then we'll just dump the extra we have each month into the mortgage payments. So as far as savings go, we were still saving money last year. We weren't dipping into our savings at all, but we weren't saving the amount of money I want to save. I want to save quite a bit of our income, and we just weren't doing that. I was spending way too much at Target. I was going to Starbucks a lot. We were going out to eat or ordering takeout more than we usually did, especially right after she was born and the couple of months after she was born. We're better now. We tend to stick to just one eating out a week, which is what I like to do. Some weeks we would do one out to eat and takeout, so those were a little bit extra. So we have enough saved that I feel comfortable with our savings amount, but I just want it to be bigger. And as far as when I'm talking about savings, I'm not talking about retirement savings. The retirement comes straight out of my husband's paycheck. We don't even see that money. So that's always been the same amount. We're saving a pretty good chunk into retirement. Overall, I just want to up our savings game, and we're starting a college fund for Olivia. So we just want to, be able to put money into that, into our regular savings, the retirements, already being put in. And we also want to put money towards our mortgage so we can save a little bit of money. But aside from any of the required expenses, and I'll talk about those in just a second, I would like us to only spend $1,000 on everything else. So this doesn't include the bills, the mortgage, the car payment, that kind of thing. I'll talk about more of those things in a second. This just includes anything that we would buy that we don't necessarily need, plus our groceries. So our groceries will come out of this $1,000. As far as extra things coming out of this money, I'm talking clothes, toys, any kind of household items like toilet paper, shampoos, that kind of thing, beauty items, any kind of date nights, out to eat, any kind of entertainment, and also gifts and gas. So anything else that we spend, I want to come out of that. And as far as bills that we have, they're all pretty basic, household bills, cell phone bills. The only other regular bills that we have that could be cut, but we're not going to cut them, are cable and internet. So of course I want internet, and my husband really likes watching football, so we're not going to cut our cable either. And I like watching Food Network here and there. And one thing we found is we can rent movies through our cable package, and that's something we just recently discovered. I don't know, we live under a rock, so we can rent a movie for $5 via our TV, and I think it's so neat that we can just rent movies, watch movies at home. So that counts as part of our date night expenses. Anytime we would rent a movie, that would go into that $1,000 fund. As far as organizing and keeping track, I'm a pen and paper kind of a girl, so I went ahead and got myself a mini notebook. This is one of the Limelife Planners mini notebooks. It's just one of their cute little patterns, and it's a lined paper notebook. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this on our desk, and we're going to write our expenses down in here on paper, and we're going to keep track of it that way. I thought we'd put the expense description, the total, and then keep track of a running total. And it's so easy. We've got a calculator right there. We can just keep track that way. I would say we would do it on Excel and get fancy, but I just know I won't keep up with it that way. If it's something sitting on the desk that I see every day, I'm more likely to keep track of it like that. I'm really excited to start budgeting, keeping track of this $1,000 disposable income part of it, and work on our savings. So hypothetically speaking, if we go above that $1,000 mark for some reason, if there's some sort of emergency expense, we'll just dip into whatever we had planned to save for that month. Another thing that happened near the end of 2015 is we had some dog expenses. Our dogs are all getting older. Our oldest is 13. Our youngest dog is going to be, I think, 8 this year, but the older dogs are having some issues. We've had to take them to the vet quite a bit, and that, really adds up. So that helped us not save money near the end of the year when I was thinking, oh yeah, we're going to save all this extra money. Without even doing much, I thought we could bump up our savings just by not buying a lot. Well, the dog expenses really add up. We've got 3 dogs now on medicine, so that's just another monthly expense we have. Their steady medicines that they take are a set number in our budget. That just comes out kind of like a bill. We just pay it as needed, and anytime their medicines are switched, or they've added a new medicine, or they go to the vet, any of that stuff is just extra. It's going to come from whatever we were going to save that month. So I'll just take that part out before I pay anything extra towards the mortgage or put towards her savings fund. We'll just take that out, and if it happens to be some sort of emergency situation with the dogs where they have to go to the emergency vet and it costs an arm and a leg, we'll deal with that as it comes. That kind of thing will dip into our regular savings as needed if we, go through any of the potential savings for the month. But yeah, they're all aging, and they're, the end is near for them, and we'll just handle those situations as they come, and as they need to go back to the vet and adjust medicines, we just deal with it. You do whatever it takes for your pet. So that's definitely something we're going to be paying for as needed, and gladly so. As long as they're healthy enough that they can be with us, we'll just we'll deal with the budget as it needs to be dealt with. But other than that, I want to stay firm on that $1,000 section of our budget, and all the other income for that month is going to go straight into savings and straight to our mortgage. So like last year, I'm not going to talk specific numbers, except the $1,000. I think that's reasonable to say. As far as saving money, the only thing I'm going to be doing is just not going out and spending a bunch of money all the time. I feel like I go to Target and I easily drop $100. And if you do that every week, that's $400 a month that I could be saving on things that aren't necessarily required things. There is a lot of household stuff that I buy at Target, but there's also a lot of stuff that I just pick up just because it's cute, just because we could use it, just because we want it. It's nothing necessary, so I'm really just gonna have to tighten up my spending money. My husband does not spend money on anything. He's the biggest tightwad. He does not mind so much that I spend money because we are still saving quite a bit of money, but I feel like I spend too much money. I'm buying way too much baby stuff, but it's so cute and I can't resist the cute little clothes. I just have to kind of rein that in just a little bit. I made the $1,000 number an attainable goal. Once the groceries and eating out are taken out of that, I still have a few $100s so I can buy any of the extra stuff I want, but I won't go overboard when I know I have a number limit. And so it's just gonna help me rein myself in pretty much. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and talk a little bit about our expenses and show you guys our cute little notebook we're gonna be using. I will maybe do some sort of budget update video for you guys to show you guys how it's working for us and any tweaks that I've made throughout the process, especially towards the end of the year. It's something I really wanted to work on. So that is it for this video. If you have a budget video or if you have some savings goals, I'd love to hear them. Leave me a link to your budget video or leave me some comments in the description below and talk about what you guys are doing this year. If you've changed things up, I'd love to know what you're doing. I hope you guys have a very financially healthy 2016. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and also have a great day.